Hi, this is Miss Chambers, and we are going to talk today about how to calculate an average. So the first thing we're going to talk about is why you would calculate an average. And the biggest reason that you would calculate an average is because when you have a lot of data, especially in an experiment, it will summarize that data into one single value. That's kind of like the best representation of all the data you took. Because when you're taking data, sometimes you might get one piece of data that's really too high or really too low. And so when you take an average of everything, it summarizes it all. So let's talk a little bit about exactly why this is useful. In an experiment, you always want to have multiple trials. And when you have multiple trials, the average will kind of summarize all of those trials. So if you had an experiment that was, does your heart rate increase when you exercise? You might gather some data and you'll get some data like this. You'll have 3 trials with no exercise. You can see what the data was, 65, 68, 62. With 1 minute of jumping jacks, it looks like it definitely went up, 112, 120, and 113. In order to calculate the average, what you will do is, if we start first with the no exercise, you will take the 3 numbers that you have there and first add them. So 65 plus 68 plus 62, that's these 3 numbers right here. Make sure you press equals on the calculator if you're using a calculator, and you'll get the total. That's the first thing you want to do. So in this case, it's going to be 195. Then to get the average, what you're going to do is take that total, so 195, and divide by how many numbers you added. So in this case, we added 3 numbers because we had 3 trials, 65, 68, and 62. So you would take 195 and you would divide it by 3. And when you put that into your calculator, you'll end up with your average. So in this case, the average is going to be 65 beats per minute for no exercise. Then you can go ahead and do it for the other group of data. So in this case, we're going to add the 3 numbers 112, 120, and 113. You're going to get the equals on that total, which is 345. Then you make sure that you put those 3 numbers, put that total into your calculator. Again, we had 3 values, so 345 divided by 3. Your answer is going to be 115. And so your average for the 1 minute of jumping jacks would be 115 beats per minute. So the key is to make sure you divide by how many numbers you added in order to get your average. So here's kind of a little summary of all of the steps that we did. If you have any questions on this, be sure to contact your teacher. Thanks.